Okay, in this video, we're going to show you how to use the TurboStats Turbo Clip tool for video editing. The first thing you want to do is make sure you have the version loaded. Should be version 14.3 B or higher. Okay, and so if you have that, what you want to do is go into your schedule and pick one of the games that you've already broke down here. I'll just pick a game here and hit edit. And so that's going to open up the game, and if it has the link to the old video, then you're fine. You click on the gear icon, make sure you got the right video here link. If you don't, click on the file open icon if you have it loaded on your computer. If it's a YouTube video, you can click on this little download button here, and that'll download it to your computer. If you're using Google Drive or another type of drive, you could still search here through the file folder, but the Google Drive has to be a disk mounted onto your computer, not a web-based version of it. So I believe this is the right link. I'm just going to click the play button to open the video editor, and so I'll show you how that looks when it comes up. Okay, so now here we are in the video editor. Let me just shrink this down so it fits. Okay, and I'll stretch it up here. All right, so here in the video editor, you have two different new icons. You should see an icon at the top here for making highlight videos, and you should see a clip icon down at the bottom. They're both associated with the Turbo Clip tool. So if you wanted to make a clip of a current event that you're in and you were on this particular play, say, where we have player number 2 has a shot made. So what you do is you just could click on this clip button right here, and that'll pop up the clipping tool here, and it'll ask you for a file name. Now it automatically chooses file names based on the name of the player, the type of event, what game it was in, and it should put it in a folder that it creates for that team and the player. So as you're storing up these clips for a player from game to game, they should be all filling up in this same players folder. Okay, and this should be automatic. Now there are some settings that you could adjust if you want that. I already have this clip in here already. So the cool thing about it is every time that this particular event is run, it's going to have the same game ID, the same number of the event, the same name, so it's going to overwrite the same file if you want to change that file a little bit. Okay, so that's one way to do it, and there's some settings here. If you click on the settings box here, you could set what folder your videos are going to be going to and all the clips. And so if you're using a Google Drive, you'd have like a G drive or whatever your drive letter is in here, and whatever folder that you set up. It's going to make the subdirectories based on what event you're in. If it's OSL, it'll say /OSL /team and games, and then if you go under teams, it's going to have the players in each team, and then that's how the files are going to go into the right folder. But there's an option here for it to auto store clips in player team folders. That has to be checked. It should be by default, and that's why it'll put it in that folder. If you want to dump them in one particular folder, you could uncheck that, and you could pick a folder and all your clips are going to go in there, but it'll probably be a big mess, so you probably want to have this option on. The other thing you might want to do is when you're tagging a game, you could auto clip everything you tag as a highlight. So if you're doing a game and you're going to be tagging it just for overall breakdown, you could clip every single highlight, and it could be by all different players, and then when you're done, you could produce a video for the highlights of that game right away. So that's an option. You could have it auto clip. We normally have that off. So the other thing is you could set the leading and trailing seconds. I like to put 3 in here, so it's going to add 3 seconds before the video clip, and it's going to add another 3 seconds after the video clip, and then that could be tagged later, trimmed later in your video editing tool. So it's up to you. See this clip length here? If you leave it at 0, it's going to take the length that you have set down here. So I like to have it that way because this is the way it works. When I pick an event here out of the list, it'll go back 7 seconds, and that's kind of how it shows me what the clip is look like I'm gonna get. So now if you're doing this and you want to adjust the clips as you're going and say, hey, this is a real quick clip, I could lower this down to just a 4-second clip, and now it's going to add 3 seconds before and 3 seconds after. That's going to be 10 seconds total. Okay, and this clip is a little bit longer. I can go up to 7. Typically you leave it alone and it's just going to make the clips the same. But when you start getting into trimming them, if you want to make the trim perfectly, like let's just look at a clip here. And so like there's a lot of extra stuff right here that we might not want. So you know, the clip, if you need to make an adjustment and say I only want to go back 4 seconds, and then I go pick that clip again just to show you how it'll play that. You know, see, it's right near the end of it. And so if I made the clip now from that play, it's going to make a smaller clip, and it's going to use the 4 seconds. So you might not want to do that adjustment. I'm just showing you how that works. If you have the setting in here for the length to be 0, it'll vary the length based on whatever number you have down here. Okay, that's how that works. All right, so now pretty much how you're going to use this is you're going to come into this tool here, open up the game, come into this tool, and it's going to be already tagged. So if you click on this filter icon, it should be on the filter by default. But you can come into the team that you want to make clips for and select the player that you want to make the clips for. Okay, all right. So you know that's how you would set that up. And now I can go in and say I want to pick what kind of events do I want. I could just pick the shots made. I could pick 3 points made. I could do shots, steals, and blocks. I could do all, which will do rebounds, assists, everything that would typically be added into a highlight, but you might have to cut a lot of stuff out because maybe those rebounds, you know, a lot of them you're not going to use. So you might want to use just whatever option that you have for a player. You could use that. Okay, so I'm just going to choose the option here for shots, steals, and blocks. And then I got the player selected from United Jersey Welder team here. And I'm just going to hit create clips. Okay, and so now if it already has that clip on file, you might get a pop-up that you have to say yes to overwrite it. But you're going to see it'll eventually show you down here how many clips it's making. And you could just, you know, go walk away from the computer until it's done. One of 7 here, and you'll see them come in to the list here. It searches through your play-by-play automatically. You're looking for steals, shots, any kind of shot or any kind of block. That's the setting that we had here. And if it finds one, it'll start making the clip here. You'll see it moving down here, and it'll just keep advancing the clip number. Now it's on clip 2, and it's got a 3-point made. It might not update down here, but it's going to show you the different shots, type of events that it's bringing in. All right, so we're letting that run. We can come back later when that's finished, but I could also show you if you want to cancel out of this, you can go back here and click on this button up at the top, and that will give you an option to cancel this so it doesn't just keep running. If it comes up, you know, 1 out of 27, and you don't want to do that many clips, you could cancel it and then come in here and readjust your search, your criteria. All right, so once these are done, if you have it set up, they should be saved automatically on your Google Drive if that's where you're going, or if they're going to save on your local drive. And then you could come in and arrange these by highlighting a clip here, and it will play here in the tool here. Like, let me just cancel this at this point. Let me see if I can get out of it. You got to wait till the one clip's finished, and it might kick you out when whatever clip it's processing is done and it's ready to go on to the next one. So let's see if that works. And so the other option here I wanted to show you was how to trim these clips. If you wanted to trim them here in this tool, you can trim them. You could order them in the order you want, and you could create a video right in the tool. So it doesn't look like that cancel option worked. So we'll have to look at that feature, but I believe that's how it worked. You click that button up there and it would cancel it. You could always exit out of this program here, but so it's almost done. It's got one more clip to make. Okay, so now the clips are done, so you can go click on the clip and it will play here so that you could look at the clip and see how you like it. So now if you want to trim this clip up, okay, you can. You could see right at the end there, I could trim all that extra stuff in the beginning off. So what you do here is you have a trim start and a trim end. So you could start playing this clip right here, and then you could hit the trim start when you want to. So let's wait till it swings back. All right, here I have trim start, and now it puts a number in there, and the trim end, that's good. I'll just trim it right there. So now I got a start and an end, and I just hit this trim clip button. So now basically it's going to recreate that clip and trim it up, and if I click on it now when it's finished, it's going to show me a shorter version of that clip. So let's just wait till that finished processing, and then let me try to play it here. It's still processing it, so we'll just have to wait a minute until it's done. Well, sometimes it won't give you a status of what's going on. It's working in the background, and you're just going to have to wait. But if I click a different clip here, I could show you how you can move these around. You could hit the clip order, and I can move this to the top if I want. This could be the first clip, and then you could just come down and click on any clip that you want to see here. But let's see if that one finished yet. Oh, here it goes. Okay, so that's it. And so now I can't add anything to it or undo. We don't have an undo option yet with this tool. So if you want to trim the clips and you need to make that over, you got to go to play number 88 here, right here. See play 88, and you can come down here and you can re-click the clip tool here and remake that clip if you want. It should ask you to overwrite it. Okay, and now it's overwriting that same clip, and it should come up with the long version of that clip that we had just before I trimmed it. And so if you wanted to trim the clips here, you could add music here, and you could actually produce a video as well. Remember, this is the filter option here that comes on by default. Okay, if I click here, this clip is still being processed. Okay, so here's the long version of it again. Remember, this is how we started. So we encrypted it because it is play number 88, and we found it in the list and just clicked this tool here. All right, so again, we can set the order here. There are some options here to do like a player profile. If you had the players on the website, it would automatically put the picture of that player in here from a photo. If not, you could click on it. I think you can click on it, or you got to click on, let's see here, how to get the photo in here. So profile, oh, here it is. It'll ask you for a photo there, and then it should be able to put a photo in there. I don't see that. Hang on, Bruce Williams, open. There he goes. I don't know what was happening, but he'll come in there. You have some text boxes here. You can click in here and you could type in text if you want for this photo. Okay, and then there's some backgrounds. Like there might be a couple default backgrounds. If not, you could create a background that you want. Just a picture file, and you could open that up, and that would give you a background that you could use. And then so when you're done and you like the clip, for the profile, you could hit create clip, and what that's going to do, it's going to make a little video, and that video might be like a 7-second video that you could use and put it at the top here. So if I click on that, that's like a 7-second video that would play at the very start of your tape, and then it would come into this other video next, in whatever order you have when you're making the video, if you're making the full video within this environment here. Okay, so if you wanted to add a logo, you could click on add logo here, and you could add logos for that'll overlay over top of your videos. So when you make the video, you'll see the logos in here. I clear this one out, but that one didn't come up. Let me see if I can get a logo in here just to show you how it looks. Not showing up in here. And so you approximate where this logo would be that you want. I mean, it's just giving you like a general area that it would be in. And so I'm assuming the logo would work. If you pick up a video, you might see the logo now. I think it hides the logos when you pick videos, but when you process the whole event, you'll see that logo overlaid. And if you don't want to have the logo on there, click on the logo, And let me just try another one. Comes in here, not showing up. But you could double click and clear it. Now there'll be no logo on your video. So it's just kind of a crude way to move it around and get you approximately where you'd want it in the video. And then when you produce the video, it'll have the logo over all the clips. All right, so so anyway, that's a little overview of how this works. If you want to create a sample project here for this player, you could hit save and give it a name, and then this would be like a product profile for this particular player that you could always come back and hit open. Okay, and then like if I exit out of the tool and I get back in and I want to go back into a set of clips that I already had, I could have open, and I could go back into this player here and have all the clips that I had in there. Okay, if I want to adjust a highlight tape or something. Okay, there is an intro option here where you could add a video. That could be the intro video, and whatever you want to put in there, that could be something that sticks each time you make tapes. You have an intro and intro, or you could just hit add clip and pick your intro or intro videos as regular video clips and then put them in here. Now, one thing you got to be concerned with is all the clips have to be in the same video format. It's not going to work if one of them is a 1080p and another one is 1280 by 720. So they do have to be in the same format. That is a setting here in the settings here. If you don't touch it, when you make clips, it's going to make it in the same format of the video. But let's say you have 3 games and they're stored in different video formats. You might have to convert one game over when you make the clips by choosing the resolution that you want to use and the frame rate and the bit rate. And then when you make your clips, even though it's in 1080p, it could possibly convert it to the right format that way. I believe that's how it works. But anyway, this is a general overview on how it works. If you want to see your whole movie, you can hit play clips, and it would like kind of play all the clips in order. About the timing, after this clip ends, it'll switch to the next clip, so you get a little bit of a sample of how your video would look. I don't know if there's a cancel on this one. Maybe if I hit play clips again, that stopped it. Okay, and if I want to, I could hit produce video, and that will create a video. I can give it a file name, highlights, and if I hit save, it's going to concatenate all those videos together and make a final video. Now, if you have any problems with the playback, if some clips speed up, other ones slow down, that problem is usually due to the different video formats mixed in here. But if they're all the same format, it should work. Sometimes we have the problem with the profile doing that, and you know, we're still working on making that a little bit better. But if the profile is causing your highlight video not to produce correctly, you might not be able to include it all in this package. You might have to put the profile in with the Power Director or another piece of software. All right, that's just a general overview. When you're done, it's still making this highlight video now, so you got to kind of wait until it finishes. And then when you're done, you just close out of everything and then go into the next game. So let's just say you're making a video that's going to be 3 games worth for that player. You could come in and it might save the videos from the previous games in here, but you could always go into the add clips button here and go to that player's folder here, and then I could highlight everything in the folder at one shot if I wanted to. So like if I'm going into this video folder for this event, like I can go into the event here, and then from that event I could go in and pick the event ID, and then in there I would go into teams, and then from there I could pick the team I'm working on, and then I can go into the player folder, and if I want to highlight all these clips, I could highlight them all in one shot and hit open, and it would bring them all in and add them into your event here. Okay, and that's how it works.